Hi kids, today we're going to be talking about drugs. Now I know whenever you look at someone like me you think, man, that guy's completely sober, and I appreciate that you accept that I am superior to you in that way. However, on a more important note, people have a hard time accepting that drug addiction is a disease and not a lifestyle choice. While the initial use may be down to the user's choice, it's the addictiveness of the drug that determines how long they end up using it afterwards. Despite this, people underestimate how addictive drugs are, and assume that people can just quit whenever they want, which is why sometimes we have to ask, why are drugs addictive? This is the Imponderable, where we answer the questions you've never asked. By the way, if you're using my videos to educate yourself on drugs instead of actually going on a medical website, good! I love indoctrinating your cute little ass. Now I should stress that I'm not going to go into the addictiveness of every single individual drug because I'd rather fall down a flight of stairs than waste my time doing that, but also because someone's addictiveness to a drug can be dependent on something like genetics, where it doesn't really matter how addictive the drug is. For most drugs though, they get you hooked by exploiting your brain's reward system, where upon using a drug, your brain lets out a ton of dopamine, thus giving off a pleasurable sensation. Then, through operant conditioning, you will start to reenact the behavior over and over again to get that same amount of high. After a while though, your brain will start to adjust to the drugs, and will start letting off less and less pleasurable sensations, thus getting a tolerance to the drug. As such, you will start to desire more and more of the drug because you are so in need of that high, despite the fact that you can't actually get it from the drug. This limit on pleasure can also negatively affect other pleasurable experiences, such as eating food, which is why a lot of addicts tend to be malnourished, and also sex, though in fairness you probably know what that feels like, seeing as how the first time you masturbated wasn't as good as it was the first time. Now there are other factors that can lead to a drug addiction outside the drug itself. Like I said earlier, someone's genetics can have an influence on this as well. This can involve someone's dopamine receptors, seeing as how they're the things that are bringing about the sensation that the drugs create, but a mental disorder can have an influence as well. Along with that, the environment someone is put in can have an influence that is almost as big as the biological influence. Whether it be experiencing stress, abuse, peer pressure, or low economic status, this can usually have a much larger influence on someone's ability to get addicted to drugs than someone who hasn't experienced all this stuff. This is all without getting into the various withdrawal symptoms that can prevent someone from being able to fully quit a drug, since your body has developed a craving for it, so you go back to the drug to satisfy that craving. Unfortunately, the complexities of drug addiction prevent it from having one true cure. However, it can be properly treated through a combination of medicine to deal with the withdrawal symptoms and behavioral therapy to deal with the psychological aspects of it. So with all that being said, why are drugs addictive? Because drug addicts failed to follow the simple solution of just saying no.